The Sudden Death of Luke A. Lucas by Harold E. Somerville. "My Lord, Luke, you here?" Gasping the words, Ed Bosworth halted, thunderstruck, at the door. "Come in, old fellow, you look upset. What's wrong?" Luke A. Lucas, he of the mighty brain and the intellectual dome, cleared a stack of law books from the chair and placed it for his caller. Bosworth, without taking his astonished eyes from the attorney, slowly seated himself. "Let me feel you," he said, extending a hand and grasping the arm of Lucas. "You are here, ain't you?" "And why shouldn't I be? These are my office hours." "But I heard you was dead. Come in to congratulate your partner. I mean, condole him. Excuse me." "Eli, what's that you said?" Luke leaned forward, his brows knit. "Heard I was dead? Where did you hear such nonsense as that?" "On the street. 3 or 4 folks spoke of it. Said it was too bad about poor Luke." "I've been at home with a touch of rheumatiz for a day or two, but I don't even look sick, do I?" "No, Luke, you don't." "Who told you I was dead?" "Well, old Bill Marsh, for one, said it was your heart. Henry Bass thought it was acute indigestion. Mel Barker heard you had a shock. Otto Rummelfinger understood." Lucas, very much alive, sprang to his feet and reached for his hat. "I'll go see March about this," he declared. "You come along, Ed." They hurried up the village street to the office of Luke's chief professional rival. Bill was at his desk. "What do you mean, you old scoundrel," demanded Lucas, "by spreading rumors that I am dead?" "Why, I heard you was." The surprise betrayed by Marsh was unmistakably genuine. "Where in the devil did you hear that stuff?" Marsh reflected. "I think Cy Latham was the first one who told me, then Joel Burke." But Lucas was gone, Bosworth at his heels. In Latham's grocery store, Cy was weighing out a sack of flour for a customer. At the sight of the supposedly dead, he lowered the scoop, and its contents whitened the floor. "Lucas," he groaned. "Ed, be I seeing things? Or is that Luke standing there beside you?" "It's Luke," testified Bosworth. "I felt him to make sure." From Latham, the trail was followed to Smith's Sanitary Barber Shop, thence to Whitney's drugstore, across the street to Atherson's Dry Good Emporium, next to Mrs. Garrison's millinery parlors, up the hill to the cottage of Miss Parker, the spinster dressmaker, and finally to the office of the Weekly Argus. Ormond Holt, the editor, and prop, took one look at Luke A. Lucas and bolted out the rear door. 30 seconds later he returned. "I've stopped the press, Luke," he announced. "You was printing my death in the papers?" "Just heard about it 15 minutes before I closed the forms. Only had time to squeeze in a paragraph to say that, as we go to press, we learn with deep regret. Hadn't run off more than a dozen copies, and I'll throw them away. You showed up in a nick of time, Luke. What started that yarn?" The editor, it appeared, had his information from a most reliable source, the truthful lips of the Reverend Joshua Stebbins. To the Reverend Joshua went Lucas. "Well, well," exclaimed the clergyman, "this is indeed a most gratifying surprise." "I'm cheating you out of a funeral fee," Luke reminded him. "My dear man," beamed the sky pilot, raising a hand in protest, "such a thought never entered my mind." The pastor had learned of Luke's reported demise from Simon Cook, the village teamster. And the Reverend Stubbins gave full credence to the story, for Cook had it direct from Dr. Ferguson. So to Ferguson's office. Here, the appearance of a living ghost occasioned no astonishment. "What can I do for you, gentlemen?" inquired the doctor when Luke and Ed were seated. "And which one shall I do it for?" "We're both well and strong," replied the lawyer. "Do we look it?" "You do." Ferguson lifted his eyebrows interrogatively. "But I am a dead man, doctor, by your own statement. announced Lucas. Is this a joke? The physician asked. I may be dense, but I fail to get the point. Luke A. Lucas, he of the mighty brain and intellectual dome, spoke slowly and accusingly. You told Simon Cook that I was dead. The story has gone all over town. It even got into the Argus. I could sue you for slander. Man alive, exclaimed the doctor, not realizing the peculiar fitness of his expletive. I never said any such thing. Not to Simon Cook or anyone else. His denial was uttered with convincing emphasis. Luke, more than ever bewildered, accepted it. I knew, he said, that it wasn't like you to make up a story out of whole cloth. But we're such good friends that I figured maybe you were having a little fun at my expense. I'm sorry, Doc, to have come to you with this, but Parson Stebbins said Cook got it directly from you. Guess I owe you a box of cigars. And now I'll be getting after Cook. We'll see what that stupid ass has to say for himself. Luke and Ed arose and moved toward the door. The doctor's gaze at that moment wandered to a smooth, white object reposing on his desk, and remained fixed there for fully 10 seconds. Then he burst out in uproarious laughter. He lifted the thing and displayed it to his callers. Here, he said, this explains your story. It's one I ordered recently. It arrived yesterday. I had just unpacked it when Simon came in with a bruised finger. He picked it up and looked it over. Never had seen one before, I imagine. He asked me what it was. He's addicted, you know, to the foolish question habit. Oh, I said offhand, that's Luke Lucas' skull. And the doggone fool must have thought I meant it. The end of The Sudden Death of Luke A. Lucas by Harold E. Somerville.